So as I said, we're kind of looking at the full spectrum area of our lives, and we're having results in all of them. So we're having results in health and well-being. You're having results in your love and relationships, in vocation, and in time and money freedom. And so as I read those off, you might be thinking, I'm not necessarily loving all the results that I'm having in each area of my life. The good news is that's what I'm here to support you with, is how to shift those results. If you're not liking where they are, there's a way to shift them. And so leading up to our first kind of principle in the formula, we're going to do a quick little game. So what we're going to do is when I shift the next screen, you're going to see 50 numbers scattered all over the screen. And what you're going to do is to count in 30 seconds, count in consecutive order the numbers and go as high as you can. I'm going to get my timer ready here. Go as high as you can in that 30 seconds. So you want to be sure it's in consecutive order. So get ready, and you can count out loud because you're on mute. That might be easier. So I'm going to go ahead, ready, set, go. You count as many numbers in a row as you can. $15 seconds. 10, 5 more seconds. All right, and stop. All right, so I'm going to have you put in the chat, how many got 10? 15. Okay, go ahead and put your number in the chat. Good work. Okay, how high did you count? Now, would you love to see the secret? Let's take a look at the secret here. Now, if you had a piece of paper, we'd be folding this in 4 parts. So I'm going to do it on the screen here. And you'll understand where I'm going in a moment. Like, what are we doing this number thing for? So we've got the 4 quadrants here. Take a look at where the numbers fall. It's a little pattern showing up, right? They're going counterclockwise in each of those areas, right? So now you have a little more information. You see a pattern that's happening here. And so now that we have a little more information, we're gonna give it a try again. We're gonna try this again. I'm gonna get my timer ready, and the same thing. You have 30 seconds, and see how far you can count this time. So ready, set, go. $15 seconds. 10 more seconds. And stop. Awesome. Go ahead and put your number in. Hopefully you did better. So you had more information. And why are we looking at this? It's going to lead into truly when we have more information, when we have a pattern or a system that supports us, we can move ahead. And so that leads us into this results formula of how do we create results. So the first step in this process, which most of us know, but we don't really tune into it, we know that everything starts with our thoughts. Everything starts in our imagination. So what I'm wearing, what you're wearing, the design of the computer, what's designed in your room, all started in someone's imagination, and then it was brought into physical form. Einstein actually said the imagination is more powerful than intellect. And so our thoughts, now that we know more about them in neuroscience, we know that thoughts create a vibration in our body, and it's picked up by the nervous system. And those vibrations we identify as our feelings. And so if we're thinking positive thoughts, happy thoughts, we're vibrating at a higher level and we identify those feelings. There's an up level feeling in the body. If we're feeling fear, doubt, and worry, it's what I call the contractive kind of feeling, and you're vibrating at a lower level. And depending on how you're feeling, that's going to then impact the actions that you take and then impact the results that you're getting. And so most people think their results are a result of things that are outside of them, the causes around them. I couldn't do that. We actually get more into the becauses. I couldn't do that because I don't have the education, or I'm too old, or I don't have the money. So we get into the because mode. And I always say it's like the Wizard of Oz. I can't do that because. Sounds victimy, right? Sounds a little victimy. So the key piece is, as we look at this, our results don't lie. We're just shining the light. If in where you are in your job search, if you're not loving the results right now, maybe you're not seeing as much movement right now, we're just shining the light there. And when we reverse engineer, we want to think about, what have I been thinking? For instance, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know what's next. I don't know if there's even that job out there for me. And we get into this contractive thinking, which then creates those feelings, actions, and you kind of stay in that kind of mode. I always like to use the sales mode. All of us are salespeople at some level. So as an example, maybe last month you didn't have a good sales month. So you're setting your new goal for this month. If you're not clear on staying focused on, this is the goal I've set, these are the steps I'm going to take, and keep focused on that direction. What can easily happen is, because our brain just replays things over and over and over every day that it did the day before, 90% of our thoughts today are what we were thinking yesterday. Really powerful. And when we don't pay attention to that, many, like 85% of them, are negative. So it behooves us to understand and learn this formula. So to get those new results, you want to keep focused on what it is that you would like that month. Otherwise, you're going to go back and create what I call Groundhog Day, or Groundhog Month, or Groundhog Year, right? That's not what we're here to do. That's where we can feel like we're living on automatic pilot. So we're going to break up that pattern and understand how to work with that. And so the first step is this phrase that my clients know very well. It's called, to create new results, you got to notice what you're noticing. What do I mean by that? So first of all, in this moment, just notice the temperature in the room. Notice your feet on the floor. Notice the texture of the clothing on your skin. So we can notice on a physical level. The other piece is we can notice what we're thinking. And so the key is, when we understand and notice what we're thinking, we actually have the power to be able to shift our thinking. And I keep it really simple. Notice if you're in contraction or fear, doubt, and worry, things that aren't serving you, if we're caught up in that, or are we in the positive, expansive kind of thoughts? That this is going to be a great day. I'm going to take steps towards my job search, and it feels really good, and stay in that. And so when we notice that we're in the lower contractive, we have a chance to pause and shift to the higher, because that's where we're going to have greater energy and take better actions in that arena.